Child, do we have to talk? Hold on, let me get this together. Okay, episode 33. Ready, set, and go. Welcome to At the Table Podcast, the virtual table where we discuss all things young adulting. My name is Fikayo, and thank you so much for having me back in your ears. Oh my goodness, I am so happy to be here. It has been what feels like forever. And I know I am not putting this podcast out on a Friday. It's on a Saturday, but let me tell you, there's good reason, and there's tons to talk about. But wow, I have missed coming here so much. I think it's been about 3 weeks that I've done a podcast where I'm allowed to talk. And I'm so happy. So much is going on, so much to talk about, so much to debrief. Right now, where am I? I am on a quote and unquote solo trip, but really it's a wedding that I have turned into a solo trip. But I'm at a friend's wedding, and yesterday I was like, I'm going to record a podcast. Girl, when I hit the hotel bed, I fell into it. I sunk into the bed and I slept. So the podcast didn't get done. But here I am now doing it. I've done a podcast with someone that will be out in about 2-3 weeks, which I'm really excited about. And then I did a meeting, and now I'm doing this podcast. So I'm having a really, really productive day, but it's good to do all of these things now so that later I don't have to worry about it. And then later I can just enjoy myself and know that I have done the needful. Oh my goodness. Have you guys missed me though? I have truly, I have missed you guys so much. And I'm really excited to talk about this podcast. So I've written some notes down, and I wrote first, where am I? But I've told you guys where I am. I'm on a solo vacation trip. I'm really excited to be celebrating Chris and Theo and their holy matrimony. It's going to be so much fun. I'm actually slightly late already, but I was like, let me push this podcast out so that tonight I can have a fun night. Now, let's start our segments. What am I snacking on, you guys? I have been loving this. I love the pre-holiday season. And I'm not talking about when November and Christmas hits, but it's like that creeping of joy that happens when this season is coming, so you're getting more excited. The Christmas music is playing sparingly. The holiday things are just coming slow. I like this infestation period before it all comes and it overwhelms us and then it becomes too much. This is just so beautiful. It's like everyone has something they're looking forward to. Everyone knows the holidays are coming. People are wrapping things up. People are making light plans for the holidays. People are buying people gifts. The season is coming. So that is what I've been snacking on, and that is what I've been loving. How have I been praying? I have been trying to work on my confidence, but we will talk more about that later because that's a whole thing. But I'm really excited for this podcast. And obviously, why am I excited? Well, this is the podcast where I get to talk about myself and I get to tell you guys everything from my journey to my understandings to my life. And a lot's been going on. A lot has been going on within these last 3 weeks. So I'm really excited to talk about them and be able to expand. And it's really, really cool because sometimes I have opinions and ideas on things and I write them down, but then it's through these podcasts that I'm really able to expand on it and see if I'm able to rationalize and make sense of it. So I'm really excited. Today, I have pulled 10 things from my journal that I have been thinking about, snacking on, learning, kind of thinking through for the last 3 weeks. And that's what we're going to do today. So come on, it's going to be a fun ride. I promise. It's going to be very informative. It's going to have you thinking. It's going to have me thinking. And it's going to be fun. My first point is money evil? And I was thinking about this and I wrote it down, I think. And I don't even have the journal here with me. But I'm someone who I've never technically been money motivated because people would always say it was bad, right? So, like, I just wasn't money motivated. But now I'm realizing that some, I don't even know, people that are money motivated do very well because that is what they want to have. That is what they want to accumulate. And and there's some people that have wealth and that have money, but they're not evil, which is so interesting to me because one of the reasons why I wasn't, or I told myself I didn't want to be money motivated, was because I'd constantly heard that narrative of money's evil, money's the root of all evil. If you have money, you're evil. But especially working where I work, I'm seeing that people have means and they're not inherently bad people. So now it's thrown me in this existential loop of, is money evil? And no, I do not think money in of itself is evil. I think maybe people use money to do bad things. I'm not sure. I think it's easy once you focus only on money to go into greed. And I think that's the evil part, the greed, the not having empathy, the just solely doing something for yourself is not the good thing. But I do not think money is inherently evil. But I'm sure as I grow older and have more life experiences, this opinion will maybe change or expand or look a little different. But I think that's where I was sitting this week. Another thing that I've been sitting on as well is selfishness. Now, it's one of those things again where I was always taught that selfishness was inherently bad. You should not be selfish. But as someone who, quote and unquote, I'm a people pleaser, in which I wouldn't even call myself a people pleaser. I wouldn't like label myself that. But essentially, the same idea applies. I want people to be happy and I want to see if I can help people as much as possible. So I do that. And I don't inherently think it's a bad it's a bad thing to be a people pleaser and want to make people happy. But right now, what I'm trying to learn is a bit more selfishness to be able to covet myself and my time and my talent and my treasure, really everything, my money, my time and my talent, to be able to covet it. So now that I'm on a spectrum, right? Where it's selfishness and people pleasing, right? On two opposite sides. I have now seen that I lean too much towards people pleasing. So now I need to itch a little bit closer towards selfishness. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't think that they're isolated boxes or isolated circles. I think that they should be more on a spectrum type thing where you should have some part of people pleasing and another part of selfishness. And that is something I'm just learning. It's something that I have to learn. Number 3, again, another thing like this sliding spectrum thing that I've been talking about is the difference between being confident and cocky. This is a big one for me. Right now, I told you guys that I'm really, really working on my confidence because it wasn't something that we were taught again because people were just like, because of how similar it can become to being cocky or being proud. And I've talked about this over and over and over again on this podcast, but I'm realizing that I'm I'm not proud. I'm not proud, but I do need to be confident. And I cannot like always try to minimize myself and make myself not seen or minimize my accomplishments. It's not helping me. I do need in some effect to be able to like stand up, hold my head up and pull my shoulders back and say, yeah, this is me. And as a young adult at 23, like I'm learning this now. So I'm like teetering between this, like, what's the difference between confident and cocky? What am I doing that can give cocky? And what am I doing that can give confidence? And then even as I'm saying this, right, it's like, why do you even care about what people think? And that is the biggest issue of my entire life. If there was a big issue on top of everything, I think I care too much about people's opinions, and that is what kills me. But I haven't figured that out, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. When I figure it out and I dissect into it, that is going to be its own thing in its entirely. But as of right now, And I don't know if it's completely a bad thing. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. That's too much thinking. But right now, what I'm trying to do is figure out, where does confidence start and where does it stop and where does it start going into cocky? I don't want to go into cocky, but I want to be confident. Let me tell you guys a story. So last week, Sunday, right, this man stopped me at church and I protocol. So protocoling is like, basically I'm like the pastor security guard, basically. You can see it as that. Or I'll just say security guard. And so, like, obviously he asks us to do things and so on and so forth. So we're constantly moving throughout the church. And when I move through the church, I think I'm in the habit of walking fast because I don't want to be seen, and then putting my head down because, again, I don't want to be seen. And he was like, don't do that. Don't do that. You are too brilliant, too smart, too beautiful for you to be like minimizing yourself. And in that moment, it hit me, you guys. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is a problem. Because he was like, there's no reason. Like, you're in America. You're not Nigerian. And in Nigerian culture, I find that, like, especially for women or female children, they always tell us to minimize ourselves, not allow ourselves to be seen, not allow ourselves to be heard. But he's like, you're in America. No, this is not how this place works. Like, no, let yourself be seen. Let everybody know who you are. Stand back and get that respect that you earned. Get that respect that you earn. Don't allow people to see you as a child. Don't allow people to minimize you. You are not to be minimalized. And in that moment, I'm telling you, it opened up a whole new world for me. And I really appreciate it. I really, really, really appreciate it. But that's another thing that I'm like thinking through. I've written something here, but I don't know if I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, move. All right. So another thing that I've been thinking about, this leaves the sliding spectrum things that I've been talking about. But another thing I've been thinking about is, it says, the longer you delay the reward for the work that you do, the greater the outcome. And wow, that is so good. I've really been thinking about that. The longer you delay the reward, the greater the outcome. And think about it with like babies. Think about it with plants. Think about it with harvesting. Like with a child, as much as you want that baby to come today, tomorrow, that baby has to sit in there for 9 months because it has to be fully baked. Harvesting, it's better to pull the watermelon off of the vine later so that it got all the nutrients, it got everything that it needed while it was waiting. And I think maybe that's the same thing with everything that you do. If you can delay the reward, maybe, just maybe, the outcome will be big. That is what I'm doing now. Again, going back into that whole seed rhetoric that I always continually have. But I'm sowing, and I'm not sowing because I need the crop tomorrow. I'm not sowing because I need the crop next year. No. I'm sowing crop for a lifetime. I'm sowing crop for a generation. I'm sowing crop that I am waiting to allow mature, and then I can see the fruit of it later. Let me tell you guys what I'm doing now. Actually, it's a little hint that I'm doing. But every week I go on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn only allows you to have 100 connections a week. LinkedIn only allows you to have 100 connections a week. And every week since about August, I go on LinkedIn and I connect with 100 people. 100 people. And I do this every single week. And I also plan for like LinkedIn content because I want to seem as a thought creator, I guess. And I plan for all these things and I set it all in motion. And it's not because I'm looking for a job. No, I'm fine where I am. It's not because I need all of these connections. No, but maybe one day I will be looking for a higher job. And maybe one of the hundreds of people that I'm following every week, 400 people every month that I'm following, Maybe one of them will become the next CEO of Google. And maybe when I'm ready to take that next step, they're the ones that are going to need me, that I'm going to need. And maybe through growing a connection point like this big, this fast, this great, maybe when one of my friends need a job, I'm able to repost their submission or whatever on LinkedIn. And then whoever is in my connections that I've been building, and not for today, maybe 20 years from now, this happens. Whoever is in my connection point that I've been building for the last, at that point, maybe 20 something years, is someone that has the capacity to get this person what they need, you know? So like, I love this idea of sowing crops in places that you don't need to see the reward in, which is so interesting because I find that this also kind of breaks my life into two different ways. Like, it's like I'm doing a lot of work for today, but also I'm also doing a lot of work for tomorrow. And it's not that I should just be doing work with the projection of it yielding fruit for tomorrow, because then that means I don't have anything for today, right? But then that also means that I can't only do work for today, because how am I sure they're going to last till tomorrow? So it's something that I've intentionally been working on, intentionally putting in work in things that I know is not supposed to see the reward or the fruit till much later. Even this podcast, it's not now that I'm trying to see the rewards or the fruit of it. No. But I told myself I'm going to be consistent, and I will show up, and I will do it, and I will motivate, and I will encourage, and I will love. And that's what I do here. So, yeah. All right, let's get to the next thing. Oh, you guys, this is so exciting. Oh my goodness. So, this is the first time that I'm mentioning this, and you guys are getting like the very first spitballing idea. But I've been planning for 2024, and I am thinking of doing a book club for At the Table. And I'm thinking it probably go in the self-help direction, the personal development direction. Maybe I have no idea how it will be structured. None, but I want to do a book club. I really, really do. And I really have some cool ideas for maybe the way it can look, how it's going to work, how it's going to be structured. That could all be very, very interesting. But I really want to see if I can get this done. And I really want to see if we can do it. So in January, I already have a book set that I know I want us to read. And in January, I honestly, this is November, the second week of November. So I have to start, I want to maybe use December as a good runway to start pushing out stuff for it, and just telling people hey, we're going to do a book club called blah, blah, blah. And this is what we're going to read. And then hopefully by December 1st, I already have a group of people. So it's going to be a whole campaign. I already have a group of people who want to do this thing from everywhere, from LinkedIn to TikTok to Instagram to Twitter, everything. And that want to read this book with me. And maybe we'll push it out in January. And I'll do an announcement of the book that we're going to read in January, and we'll push it out like that. But I'm really excited for this. I really do have to do a lot of brain work for it. I am a one-man team. If you want to join the At the Table team and you can help a girl out, please let me know. But yeah, I am a one-man band, so it's me and me and me. But we're trying to figure it out, and I like it, so we'll just see. All right, study the people that you want to become. Yes, so this is topic number 8 that I wanted to talk about. And I have been listening to a lot of people, obviously. And there was this quote I heard, and he said, there's a thin line between envy, right? And honestly, you shouldn't envy anyone. But if you do find yourself envying the person, there's a reason why you envy them. And if you envy that person, there's something in them that you want. So study them. Don't use that energy to push out hate. Use it to push out admiration and motivation. This person did this thing. Wow, I want to do it too. Oprah has her own talk show. Wow, I want to do it too. So you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to start studying Oprah. I'm going to see what she did in the beginning. I'm going to see what her grassroots look like. I'm going to imitate her, see what she did, try to do what she did, and replicate it, of course, with my own spin. But if I want to be like her, do what she did. Duh. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a list of all the people that I want to be like. And I use that every feeling as motivation and study them, see what they did, what personality got them through, what understandings, what traditions, what practices got them through to what they got. How did they do it? Because I think that gives somewhere as opposed to nowhere. That gives somewhere to start as opposed to nowhere. That gives a defining line as opposed to no line. That gives something as opposed to nothing. So why not, right? Yeah, so that's what I've been doing lately as well. I want to study the people I want to become. Jay Shetty, for example, he is a great man, and I've been trying to find information from him, like grassroots, like when he started as a baby, and see what he did, see what he did right, see what he didn't do right. But yeah, all that to say, study the people that you want to become, okay? Study the people that you want to become. Study the people that you want to become. Study the people that you want to become. All right. Okay. Call the things that you want into the present. This is also a really good quote. Call the things that you want into the present. What do you want to become? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Write it all down and call them. I am already a huge worldwide podcaster. I'm already an author. I'm already this. I'm already that. I'm already her. I'm already the person I want to become. Now I just need time to get with the times, right? I just need time to get that, but I'm already her. So I'm going to call it into the present, and I'm already going to move as if I'm already this person. And if everything is done correctly, it will come to me. Because I'm already there. I'm already there mentally. So it's just time for the physical to come and meet me. But I'm already spiritually there. Call the things that you want into the present so that it can be your present. Amazing. Beautiful quote. And something I want to utilize this year. Atomic Habits talks about that as well. We'll talk more about that later. But it's so important. Call what you want to become into the present. Beautiful. What do you want to become? What do you want to do? Who are you trying to become? Where are you trying to go? Call it into the present. Okay. All right. Next. Plant trees under whose shade you will never sit under. I heard this quote, I think 2 weeks ago, and I freaked out. I freaked out because God, first off, words are just so beautiful. It just doesn't even make sense how words put together in a certain way are able to, first off, message a specific kind of message and also evoke a specific kind of feeling. But that is besides the point. This is just such a beautiful quote. Plant trees under whose shade you will never sit under. So, do you know what that means? It means sowing into this generation, sow into people who you don't plan to eat from. Sow into people whose shade you will never sit into. Sow into places whose shade you'll never sit into. For example, giving to orphans, right? Because, I'm not an orphan, but I should give, I don't even know, that doesn't even make sense. Give to orphans because one day they're going to grow up and your little contribution or whatever is going to have made some type of impact in their life. And hopefully by God's grace, they're able to make something of their life. But you will never sit under their tree. Not that you know of, at least. You will never intentionally take from what they're giving. I've had people sow into me. I've had therapists sow into me. that will never sit under my tree. They will never sit under what I'm doing. Never. But they sowed into me anyway. Sow into people anyway. Do the thing anyway. Love on people anyway. You don't have to have a reason other than the fact that you know it's a good thing. Do that good thing. Do that good thing. It is crazy in a world that is intent on crushing us, in a world that's intent on making us suffer. A person, a singular human being can be the difference, can be the rock, can be the person. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Do it. Plant trees, love on people, encourage people, motivate people. That's the least you can do. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That is it. But I did not want to leave this podcast in such a rush because I wanted to give this very, very last thing. And this is my 11th point, I think. But I think it's the most important. So I'm going to come up to the mic and I'm going to say something in your ear because I want you to hear this. Okay? Hold on. I'm moving a little closer. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. I want you to know that I believe in you. I really, really, really believe in you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how you're going to get through it. I don't know what your next steps are going to be, but I know you're going to get it done. I know that the push, the power, the fight is already inside of you. I know you will succeed. I know you will be okay. I know you will look back at this time and say, I did it. I kicked ass. And truly you will kick ass. You will do so great. You will go so far. You will become something that no one has ever seen before. You just have to keep going. And guess what? I believe in you. If everybody has counted you out, know that I'm here and I'm counting you in. I just need to let you know that. For real. You've got this. For real, you've got this. You got it. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. You've got it. If you need help, if you need resources, let me know and I can do what I can. But you've got it, okay? All right. All right. This is a pinky promise. We're pinky promising. We're going to get there. Me and you both. We're going to get there. We have to. We're going to get there. All right? Okay. All right, my dear. It is time to clear off the table and wash the dishes. Follow me on everything. Give us all the stars. Please, it really helps other people get in front of at the table and really helps our little community grow just a little bit better and bigger. What else? Follow us on the social medias. I think I've said that already, but yeah. I don't know. Nothing else, right? I don't think there's anything else to say, but guess what? I love you so much. Do you know that? Do you know that? I love you so, so much. All right. See you on the flip side, honey. Bye.